Welcome to Telling It Like It Is, Dave Scholler. He's weekly. I got my little doggy with me here. Lily to one side, she's washing up. I got Rosie to the other here. And Charlie's over there sleeping, but that'd be a really crazy angle. Trade deadline results. A's go out. We pick up some excellent players. We had Chafin. We had Gomes, who had a huge two-run homer the other day. Okay, of course, we have Marte. Team looks pretty good. Marte stole 3 bags in the game the other day. We're basically three up on the Yankees and the Mariners, 4 up on the Blue Jays. The Indians have faded away. More importantly, we've started to gain a little bit of ground on the Red Sox Rays loser because that's who we're chasing. So that's very important to us. A lot of crazy trades. The Dodgers go out and get Turner and Scherzer. I mean, I don't even know how the hell they can afford to keep a guy, like Pujols on their bench. It's amazing, just all the people that you have out there. Just I never saw it. So many high rollers. Baez to the Mets here. The Yanks go out and get Rizzo and Heaney, who gave up 4 solo homers last night. I believe he's a Stony Brook product, so I'm not happy about that. I'm a big Seawolf fan. But we went out and we made some deals, which is kind of weird. And I try to explain this to the fans in these blogs, but fans just don't see it for what it is. Uh, like if you're the Mets, for example, it would have been worth it to go out and spend more because the division is trash. So the thing is, when your division's trash like that, you're going to get a best of 5 playoff series. So it's just a trash division. So when they go make an investment, it's not just for one game. So like in the A's case, it is a one-game investment. They're going to have to play the Red Sox or the Rays, who will probably both have a better record than us, unless we can catch them. Hopefully, we can catch them. But if you think about it, we're renting for one game possibly if we make the wild card. And plus, we have less money than these other teams, and that's why it's so risky for teams like the A's and the Rays. It is a one-game situation. To me, you hate to be brutally honest, but if we go out and win the one game and then you could get to a best of 5, I think the longer the series, the better it favors the A's because I don't believe we have that one horse. I mean, Manaea's tough and Bassett's tough, but we don't have that one horse. All right. So I'm always a little concerned about that. Those wild card games, the last 2 times with the Yanks and the Rays have not been good for us. So I'm hoping that we can get more than one game out of it. If we could do that, that'd be great. So we made some good moves, so I'm happy they made the moves. But at the same time, you have to be analytical about it. You can't be a homer. You have to say that the moves are worth it if you go out and you make this one game and you make it count, and then you get a best of 5. And if we get a best of 5, the best record, it'll probably be right now I think the Astros have the best record. Then you might have to go face the Astros. So or the White Sox. Both those teams I feel better than us just because of lineup depth. But I think our starting pitching is better than both of theirs. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. And I'd rather play the Red Sox or the Rays. So hopefully one of them finishes with the best record. So if we can win that one game playoff, we get one of them. But first we got to get there. The Yankees spent more money than the Catholic Church. Like I said, they go out and get Rizzo. They made some strange bullpen moves at the end there. Like I said, they got Heaney, but I don't know how the Yankees or the Mets don't go out and get Scherzer. They both have the money to do it. As we've talked about all year, Mets ownership is the only team that didn't lose money last year. They didn't own a team during the pandemic. Every other team lost money during the pandemic. So, and it's the worst GM move of the year has to be Jerry Dipoto of the Seattle Mariners. He goes out and gets rid of his bullpen guy, Kendall Graveman, former A. And then he goes 2 of the next 3 nights, and they lose the lead the ninth inning to the Texas Rangers, who got rid of Gallo and got rid of their one pitcher. So if you think about it, that's probably the worst move. He's already blown 2 leads, or else they'd be right on the A's tail. Instead, we have a nice little margin for error. And that's players in the clubhouse reportedly were not happy that you give away Graveman, and then the next 2 nights he's trying to close versus the Astros. And obviously, he didn't get the deal done versus the Rangers, who are not really good anymore. And like I said, you take away everybody except the number 3 head of the rookie there, stud. But really bad move by Jerry Dipoto. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. In the Mets case, to try to calm my Met fans down here in New York, you're playing for a series. Like you're not going to have the best record. So you're going to wind up probably playing the Brewers. All right. Because the Giants, I think, have the best record. They'll play the wild card, who will be either the Padres or the Dodgers in their own division. That leaves the Mets and the Brewers. And you can't be afraid of the Brewers if you're the Mets. You got to be pretty pumped up. So the situation for the Mets is entirely different. How they don't go out and nail a guy like Scherzer is beyond me. It's a little disappointing. I'm glad they didn't do it, but if you're a Met fan, you got to go out and get another pitcher. I mean, you just banged up. DeGrom is going to be out for another couple of weeks. Scherzer would have been a great pickup. I don't know how you don't do that and you don't go spend that money. Um, the Phillies went out and made some good moves, so it was really it was like a free agency pinball machine. It was pretty amazing out there how many moves were made at the deadline. So I never saw it this crazy. Usually you get a little bit of moves here, a little bit of moves there, but this was multiple teams making multiple moves. So crazy stuff. Padres go out and add some. Giants really didn't go out and do a whole hell of a lot. I guess they figured they're in first place, but still, the Dodgers just a wealth of riches. Just incredible how much they just added with Trey Turner and going out and adding Scherzer to that pitching staff. So they're going to be a tough group to deal with. But you got to take it one inning at a time. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves. We had a 4-2 week, which is what we asked for last week. 4-2 week on the road. We took 3 out of 4 from the Devils slash Angels. There, as I like to call them. Angels never kick it in, and we got a little fortunate. Still no Mike Trout. Otani didn't do much for us, which was nice. And we did split with the Padres, who we have tonight in a couple of hours. So that was good. We're getting a little bit of break on the Padres. Tatis is out. And we talked about this earlier in the year with his violent swing. I told you that he would re-injure himself, and it sucks to be right. I love watching him, but that violent swing on those hands and shoulder, not going to work. He has one of the most violent swings you'll ever see. He's a great player, but he re-injured it and is going to need surgery at some point. So that injury is going to be a thorn in his side going forward unless he changes his swing. And part of what makes him so great and so much fun to watch is that great swing he has. So the A's lose that game 1-0 to the Angels. First 3 games of the series, we only score 6 runs, which is Oakland A's offense. It looked like Marte and Gomes were going to be infected by us, but hopefully not. Hopefully they overcome our hitting instructor, Mr. Bush there. Who I don't know how he keeps his job. Our approach is still horrendous with men in scoring position. The other day we did get 8 runs to kind of cover up the fact that we scored 14 runs in 4 games, which is not great either. We should be better on offense, and unless we pick it up, the Mariners and the Yankees or the Blue Jays could catch us. Like I said, the Indians are kind of faded away now. They're almost done. They made a couple of moves at the deadline, so hopefully the Mariners do moves will backfire. The players are a little pissed off at the GM anyway. So now it's really about the Yankees and the Blue Jays. The good news is they're in the same division. They're going to have to bump each other off. We do have 3 more with the Blue Jays and 3 more with the Yanks, I believe. So that's going to be interesting. Garrett Cole is out on COVID today, so he didn't get to pitch tonight. But the Yanks are up 6-0 right now, and the Mariners are up on the Rays. I was hoping to get some help from the Rays, but we're not getting any. So we're going to have to take care of business ourselves tonight. Hopefully against Blake, we can get a couple of runs. He's been a little wild in the strike zone, so hopefully we can get some runs off of him. Hopefully Sean does his job, and we can get off to a solid little homestand here. So again, we have the outfield of Canna, Marte, and Laureano's made some great plays in right field already. Piscotty's probably going to be the odd man out. You got Kemp has been pretty solid, obviously, but he's going to lose out here a little bit to infielder Harrison, who's been a very nice addition already. But it just adds to our overall depth. And some of the guys on baseball tonight made a good point that teams that win games with the overall depth. And we really added to our depth. And Chafin in the bullpen is going to help too. I still wish we would have picked up one more arm. Hate to let go of Luzardo. I mean, like he did get a win last night, but typical Luzardo, he gets spotted like a big lead and gives it right back. So Luzardo is, a guy who always has a bad second and third time around, which shows he doesn't make adjustments. That's where earlier in the year we were calling for him to be in the bullpen, but he didn't do that well there either. I thought he'd be great for relief, but obviously not. So we had to let him go. We had to make these moves because if we just stayed stagnant, I think we would have been passed. And we could still lose out. That's why a deal for the A's is you have to be twice as critical about it because we don't have that same gap. I mean, like your window to win when you're an Oakland A's fan is like the Rays. So you have a couple of years, and then you go back down again, you sell off, and you come back in a couple of years. So we're gonna have to be smart about this. We're gonna have to see if we can regroup. But overall, I think it's pretty solid. Yankee fans went crazy the other night because they scored a couple of runs against the Marlins and had to sweep the Marlins, but you scored a couple on one ground ball. Then the Yankees last night come out and they're flat as a pancake. Hopefully they keep Boone because I think he stinks. And this team is too mellow, and Boone is too mellow himself. It's not a good match. And like I said, they're up on the Orioles tonight, but they gave one away last night. Well, they didn't give it away; they got smacked. So if we can have a couple of days where they're playing the Orioles and we don't lose ground. The Orioles have some good players, but we don't want to worry about losing ground while they're playing the Orioles. But we avoided that last night. We picked up a half a game. So hopefully we can keep them off, which reminds me of that stupid phrase behind in a lost column. All these foolish Yankee fans on the radio talk about only 2 behind in the loss column. Well, if you've played 6 less games and you're only 2 behind in the loss column, that means nothing. So that means that the A's won the other 4 games out of the 2 that you're missing in the loss column. Loss column argument is for when you've played more games than the other team. If the A's have played 6 more games than you, the loss column argument is foolish. If you've played more games than them, that's when you use the loss column argument. It only works one way. To say, oh, well, we're only 2 behind in the loss column when the other team has played 5 more games, that's not a good argument. So that means you have to win all those games, and nobody wins 3 out of every 4 games. Nobody plays 750 baseball. In that case, you have to win all 5 games or all 4 games. So the loss column argument from the people on the radio is just, it's like a little knowledge is dangerous. It's just so foolish. It's loss column argument is ridiculous unless you've played more games. It has no meaning if you've played less games. So it's one of those crazy situations because if you understand that the other team's played more games and you're still 2 behind them, that's not a good argument. Hopefully you can understand that math there. Chappie's hit a couple of homers, but he's still struggling. Shortstop Andrus has been steady. Jed's been good. Harrison's going to be good. Kemp had a rough night the other night. He had a couple outs with the bases loaded. Ole's been a little streaky, but we got to keep the faith with Ole. We got to get that done. It looks like the Phillies are up 3-0 here. Torreyes, the old Yankee product, giving the Phillies that lead. They're trying to close the gap to 1.5. So the Mets better pick it up. So that's live as we're watching the Mets. They're losing 4-1 right now to the Marlins. Catching wise, Gomes is going to be a big help to Murphy. I hopefully platoon him. Hopefully we can give Gomes his amount of at bats. Like I said, the outfield's pretty solid. Piscotty's going to lose out. We did have to send Brown down, but I understand that. Piscotty's still a professional hitter. I feel bad because both times he got going this year, we had to basically shut him down for injury. So one was maternity, another was an injury. So that was a little bit of a problem. So that wasn't good. But what are you gonna do? That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So overall, though, you have to be pretty pleased. The bullpen, we got to get Diekman back on track here. We got Wendelken. We got to get him back on track. And Petit's probably thrown too much. That was nice the other day. We didn't have to use him. I think all those years of him leading the league in appearances kind of finally jumped on its back. And but I'm really looking forward. Chafin will be a big help for us, and we're going to go from there. I hope so. The only thing this year is different guys in August. The waiver wire is not going to be claimable. Something in the past that all these teams like to use. But I got my Cespedes jersey on, by the way. So we need a good week this week. We got the Padres for 2. Okay. And then basically we got to focus on getting the split there. And then we got another day off Thursday. And then we basically have a 5-day week this week. And that's going to be very, very, very important. We want that 5-day week, but at the same time, we've played more games than other people, which at this time of the year, that's very helpful. I know here in New York, the Met fans are so worried about all the doubleheaders they have to make up. Although the doubleheader with 7 innings, I don't mind it. I kind of like the product that way. I know next year they're getting rid of that rule and the extra inning rule, which I like also because it speeds up the game and saves the amount of arms you got to use. So that's kind of cool. But at the same time, we have a good situation here with this team. So we got to get a split. Like I said, we just took care of the Angels pretty good. I believe we have the Rangers this week, if I'm not mistaken. The Rangers are shell of them former selves, so it'd be nice to see if we can get a 4-1 5-game week. That's really greedy, but I think we're quite capable of doing that. And we got to go from there. And we have to find a way to get this done. So we've got Padres, see if we can get a split there. And then we got to see if we can get 3 in a row here. And we'll go from there. And no Tatis, like I said, big benefit to that. We got to see if we can at least get a split here because the Padres are a really good team. But that's all we got for this week on Telling It Like It Is. Let's hope for a 4-1 week. Like I said, 3 up basically. We want to make sure that we can sustain this lead, maybe extend it a little bit, and let these 2 teams get to a point where the Yanks and the Blue Jays have to play each other, and we can just get hot that same time that they're playing each other. We're going to gain on both. So that's all we have, and hopefully during the week we can, like I said, we can stay hot. Thanks for listening. Again, on Spotify, on iTunes, all kinds of Comcast, we're on all kinds of things. So please share with your friends, subscribe. It's free. And let us know how you feel. We like talking to you. We'd love to have some of you guys come on. We can figure it out with the 3-hour time difference. Take care.